Okay. Now, moving on to the next section, which is the second section, is your overall health considerations. And I have 11 items here. And I'm not going to tell you, oh, watch to the end because there's a special item at the end. I'm not going to do that. That's just to get you to spend more time on the channel, like so they can get more watch hours. Either you want to know this information or you don't. I'm never going to trick you into doing something just so that I can benefit the algorithm of my YouTube videos. Overall health consideration. And I have 11 here, like I just said. Number 1, do you have a realistic understanding of your health? You know those questionnaires you might get from your doctor that says, oh, scale of 1 to 10, how healthy are you? You need to talk to yourself about that. Do you have a realistic understanding of your health? If you're unsure, have your doctor tell you. You really must get evaluated by your physician before you go to India, especially with the COVID that's going on. My doctor, I had wanted to return the very next year and the year after that, and my doctor said, no, don't go, wait another year. And this time he said, it's okay, just with all these precautions and tons of vaccines I had to take. So gain a realistic understanding of your health, your general health condition. Do you have any physical limitations and know how to not risk an injury? I had to think about this carefully because I do have physical limitations. I have back problems, serious ones. And because of that, I take a back brace with me and I wear it anytime I have to handle my bags, because I have had a fractured neck 3 times. I have compressed discs in my spine and I have severe osteo. Another fall could leave me a quadriplegic. A car accident could leave me a quadriplegic. So I have to really think about those things and how can I be prepared? How can I protect myself? So that doesn't happen without it becoming life-stopping, because I'm not going to give up on life just because I have these conditions. But I'm going to take precautions. So make sure you're aware of any physical limitations. I'd say one of my biggest limitations is I'm 5 feet tall and 120 pounds. I'm not real strong, but what I have been doing is my son taught me how to, I could get it and show you here. Just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. With my sundew. My suitcase, it's a little heavier than I want it to be. I think it's 36 pounds. My backpack one is, I think, 20 pounds. Both are under the limit that's allowed by TSA, but they're really kind of borderline limit on what my body's willing to say. So my son taught me how to do this. So I have been doing this. This is heavy. When I first started doing it, it was difficult for me to lift my bag. But using these weights when I stand up, I don't know if I can stand up here and do it, but I'll show you. Don't do this if your doctor says, check with your doctor first. And so to get the arm strength, I don't have to roll off the table. To get the arm strength to pull my bag up, because I need to lift my bag onto a train and maybe up some stairs. I started out with, this is 10 pounds altogether here, and I started out with only 6 pounds. And every day, several times a day, I would pretend this was my suitcase. I would like squat a little bit so I'm not pulling on my back, and I would do this, right? Up and down really slow. Not on the table, but I would stand off and do this, right? I do 20 reps, 3 times a day. And then I would do these. These, my son taught me because he does weights. And you do it slow. These strengthen your forearms to be able to lift this way. And this, doing this, when I first started, I could only get to about here, right? Because my shoulders went, no, I can't do anymore. But now, and with the 6-pound weight. And now I can do the 10 pounds and come all the way up, right? I'm going to put this down before I hurt my table. Okay. Talk to your doctor to see if you're in good enough shape to do a little bit of weightlifting, because you want to be able to handle your bag. Because in India, when you're staying in budget hotels, you may not always have someone to help you with your bags. When you're using Ubers and tuk-tuks and things like that, the driver may not get out and help you with your bag. You need to be able to lift your own bag and learn how to lift it properly so you don't hurt your back. So since doing this, I have actually developed some muscles. You know, it's good in just in general life to have some upper body strength and to learn how to lift. So moving on to number 3. Do you have any conditions that might cause you to need emergency hospital treatment? Again, get this information from your doctors. What do you need to be worried about? I don't think I have any. Doctor doesn't think I have any. He gave me that go, enjoy, you know, send me messages. He said I will. So that is something you want to talk to your doctor about and assess any risks and what to do if you decide to go anyway. Do you have any medications? This is the 4th one. Do you have any medications that are not easily available in India? You need to get those and take them with you. I have a video that talks about my own little pharmacy bag that I have that carries everything that you would normally need to use at home that you would buy over the counter should you get the flu or, you know, those common type viruses or diarrhea or constipation, you know, all those things that can just make your life a little bit annoying, you know. So I carry a small assortment of these variety of things in a small bag so that as a solo traveler, I'm in my hotel room and I wake up some morning or it's the end of the day and I'm thinking, something's not right, you know. As a solo traveler, you can't go, hey, travel partner, can you go and find some of these meds for me? You're by yourself. So either you drag yourself out, which is not a good idea if you're suffering from deli belly, and you go get what you want, and you got to find a pharmacy that gives you real drugs and not knockoff drugs. So carry a small package of these over-the-counter things, and you know what you use when you don't feel well. Or even talk to your doctor again and say, well, what kinds of drugs should I take? In the big cities, yes, you can go to their pharmacies and you can get these things over the counter. Have the real name of the drug. In other words, you can't ask for Tylenol in India. You need to ask for, and I can't say it, acetam, I can't say it. You know what I mean? It starts with an A, C, something or other. Or you ask for, I don't think you can even ask for aspirin. I think you have to ask for a NICED, NAISD, something like that. So be prepared because you're going to get a headache. And if you're there for any length of time, you are probably going to get deli belly. There are drugs, a prescription your doctor can give you that you would use. I explain all that in another video. So somewhere around there'll probably be a link somewhere, or you can look in the playlist and find it because it'll talk about medications. Okay. I'm trying to get here. Number 5. Do you have conditions that are not treatable in India? Now, this is a touchy subject, and I don't want to hear anything back about, oh, that's just bad, or this is, you know, you shouldn't support this. This has nothing to do with supporting. It has to do with facts of life and reality that there's many different types of people in the world. If you are a transgender, it can be very difficult to obtain the hormone supportive medications you need to continue a transgender lifestyle. I know someone who went to India and was unable to continue their meds, and they had been in process for a decade, and they became very, very sick, physically and emotionally, and had to come home on emergency. So if you have any types of medical conditions, like what if you have failing kidneys and you need dialysis or anything like that, talk to your doctor, and they should be able to help you. But think of these things. Don't just buy your ticket and go, oh, well, I'll figure it all out later. No, don't do that. Figure this out beforehand. Do you have any issues with altitude sickness? I do. So I have to look at the altitudes of places that I want to visit, because anything over 7,000 feet, I don't do math well. I get migraines. It's hard to breathe. I feel really, really bad. So I look at those things. Can I go here? Can I go there? There's lots of places I'd love to go, but I know the altitude sickness would just, it would be inconvenient for myself and for anybody who has to get me out in an emergency. Don't put yourself in this situation. Are you willing, this is number 7, are you willing to get the required vaccinations, including COVID and flu? If you're not going to India. So I should have made that number 1. You have to have a certain set of vaccinations to go to India. Typhoid, I had to get how am I counting this? Typhoid, encephalitis, hepatitis B, rabies, COVID, flu. I know there's another one, but I can't remember what it was. And you have to start getting those in advance. Not too far in advance, but I started mine a little over 1 month in advance, because some of these, and I have to take malaria pills with me because of where I'm going. That was number 7. Some of these take a little while for the immune system to kick in. So I was anxiously waiting for the COVID vaccine and the flu vaccine to become available so I could take it soon enough so it will be in full force when I get on that plane. Some of these vaccines make you feel, not you, but did me and other people I know, make you feel sick for a few days. So be prepared. Some of these vaccines have to be done in 2 or 3 shots in sequence with time apart. So talk to your medical provider, whoever that is. I'm with Kaiser, and Kaiser has an actual travel agency part of it that handles everything for you. So vaccinations are essential. Where I'm going on pilgrimage, there is malaria. So you'll see in one of my other videos where I have this net that you can sleep the top part of your head in, so the mosquitoes aren't getting you while you're sleeping, and a screen that I can put over the windows or over the doors if I have an exterior door to keep the mosquitoes out. And then I have medication I'm supposed to take starting the day before I arrive at these different locations. So think of your vaccines. Okay, number 8. Are you prone to gastrointestinal upset? Another word for that is IBS or IBD. Yeah. Touchy subject. Yes, I am. But I also know the signs, the symptoms, and how to manage it. It is not a showstopper. Anxiety can really trigger these reactions, so learning how to manage the anxiety and the certain foods that can bring this on, just be diligent. And there is medication that you can use. Talk to your doctor. I have not let it stop my life. I know how to adapt. So number 9, can you carry a 17 or 20 pound backpack on your shoulders and roll a check-in bag, which is about 30 to 36 pounds? Airport allows, TSA allows 50. Don't take 50 pounds. My 36 pounds is a lot, and a lot of that is technical stuff, heavy things, like charging cables. And if you go look at those videos, you'll see. If you're not going to be doing a YouTube channel, you can probably easily drop 10 pounds or more because you're not carrying batteries and cables and lights and tripods and all that kind of stuff. So you can practice with this before you buy that ticket. Most everybody has a backpack. Fill it up with cans of vegetables, put things in it, put it on your back, go out, or even walk in your own home, wherever you're at, or your backyard or whatever, put it on your back and see if you can carry that for 20 minutes and not be going, oh my God, I'm so sore. Or the next day, oh my gosh, I can't hardly move, And if you find that to be the case, you have to exercise and you need to pack that pack every day and get out there and do 20 minutes of walking with it every day. Side benefit, you lose some weight. The same thing when, pack a suitcase. Surely you have a suitcase. Most everybody has one. And fill it up and stand on the scale until it weighs about 30 to 35 pounds. And then practice lifting it. Can you do it? Can you do it with a single hand? Can you do it with a double hand? Can you have your backpack on and lift that bag and not fall over and hurt yourself? Test yourself before the day of travel. Test yourself before you buy that plane ticket. Because maybe you have such severe arthritis or such a severe back that you can't do it. Now, there's other options. You could always wait till you get to India and buy everything you want. That's an option, but that's not necessarily a low budget option. As an example, to not have extra weight in my bag, I'm only going to take the pair of shoes that I will have on my feet. Normally I travel with 2 pairs of shoes, but I do know in India I can buy shoes very cheap. You can get brand name knockoffs, for like $5-10. That's almost the same price as going to a thrift store here and getting a used pair. So if I need a second pair of shoes, that's something that's very common that you can buy in India. Now, number 10, can you walk for long periods and lift your luggage onto a train or a bus or steps? You'll see that the bag that I use for check-on this time has the 4 swivel wheels. It will make a huge difference. My backpack, even though it weighs a little bit more than the prior backpack, has 2 wheels and a pull handle. So as soon as I get off of that train that will drop me at the San Francisco airport, out comes, actually I'll have my rolling bag and I'll put the backpack on top. You'll see that. And as soon as I check my check bag, then I don't have to carry my backpack at all. I'll just pull the handle out and it'll roll behind me. I'm getting too old to carry that backpack around for the hours that I would be in an airport. So think of these things. So when I say I'm analytical, I am. And I'm sharing these with you because some people don't think quite so analytical, and it may not cross their mind until they're in the situation and they go, oh, why didn't I think of that? Well, I've done the thinking for you. I'm going to keep going here, right? Number 11 in this set of overall health conditions, can you squat to use a squat toilet and get back up easily without handrails? If you've never been to India, you probably have no clue what I'm talking about. But yes, luckily my years of backpacking and camping and growing up on a ranch and stuff, I have squat techniques and I'm quite stable doing that sort of thing. It's a little bit more difficult when you're wearing a skirt. you know, or even when you're wearing pants and they, you know, want to fall down, because you don't want anything touching the ground in an Indian bathroom, in their stalls. 99% of the time they're wet. They're not really clean. But what they have are what's called these squat toilets. And I'll get a picture and I'll pop it up here someplace in the video so you can see, you know, what I'm talking about. You back up over it, you put your feet on these two little platformy things, which are like this tall, and there's a hole, and then you have to, you know, drop your drawers and squat down, you know, or if you don't wear drawers, you know, pull up your skirt or whatever, do your business and move on. There's all kinds of hygiene issues with that, because you're not going to find toilet seat covers, you're not going to find toilet paper, you're most likely not going to want to touch any faucet if there is one in that bathroom to wash your hands. So be prepared. Take what you need with you into the public restrooms. The hotels I'm staying at have Western toilets in them. That was one of my requirements. If you're traveling on a budget, you need to ask for specifics. Yes, I want a flushing toilet. Yes, I want a private shower. Linens I don't have to have, I'm self-sufficient, but ask, do they provide linens? Budget hotels do not necessarily provide bedding or linens or toiletries. You get a room, a bed, and likely a private bathroom. So if you don't have experience squatting, practice and see if you can develop the leg strength and the balance to do that. Very important. If you can't do that, then you need to plan your trip accordingly. I also demonstrate in one of my other videos that I don't know if I can put the link up here, but in the playlist there will be the discussion of hygienic things, and I talk about what's called a Pishi and how to use that. If you can't squat, get one of those and then hope you don't have to do the other process. So that is the overall health considerations. These things are very practical, and if we don't put our thought and, you know, study and solutions into these things, our trip can become a real hassle. So think about it. It's up to you, it's up to your doctors. Trust them. Watch lots of videos to see if the psychological conditions that some of these people have gone through when they're traveling. Loneliness can be a big one. I don't really suffer from loneliness. I have spent so much time as a solo person, and especially doing retreat. If you've been in retreat for a year by yourself, you know, being gone for 4 months and you can be surrounded by people, you know, be gregarious, meet people in the area, talk to the hotel people, talk to people on the street, talk to people in the restaurants, but remain safe at the same time. You will most likely meet some really fantastic people